most dynamic gathering in our history. And I would also like to express my heartfelt thanks to our keynote speakers, especially Professor Donggun Yoon from Yonsei University and Thomas C.T. Chang, from Tintro from Taiwan, for sharing inspiring insights that will guide the future of our discipline. As we face the challenges of climate change and rapid technological transformation, I believe our collaboration across the nations will help us create more sustainable, resilient, and human-centered cities. Let this symposium be a starting point for new partnerships and new ideas. Finally, I thank all the organizers, researchers, students, and supporting staffs for their effort in preparing this successful event. I wish everyone productive discussion and an enjoyable stay in Jeju. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor, for your inspiring remarks. Next, we are supposed to hear the welcome remarks from Professor Il-Hwan Kim, President of Jeju National University. Unfortunately, he did not make it today due to the urgent commitment. Instead, he sent us a regular welcome remarks. I will read it on behalf of him now. It is written in Korean, so sorry for that. 한영사, 존경하는 한국지리정보학회 회장님, 일본 GIS학회 회장님, 대만 TGO 회장님, 공간정보산업진흥원 원장님, 한국공간정보산업협회 회장님, 그리고 국내외에서 참석해 주신 내외 기빈 여러분과 학회의원 여러분 반갑습니다. 제주의 맑고 포근한 가을 정치 속에서 2025년도 한국지리정보학회 특위학술대회 및 IAGI 국제심포지움을 이 뜻깊은 제주 땅에서 여러분과 함께 맞이하게 되어 매우 기쁘게 생각합니다. 특히 일본, 대만, 베트남 등 해외에서 귀한 걸음을 해주신 여러 전문가분 여러분께 진심으로 환영과 감사의 인사를 드립니다. 여러분의 참석이 오늘 이 자리를 더욱 뜻깊고 풍성하게 만들어주고 있습니다. 공간정보는 이제 단순한 기술을 넘어 인간의 삶, 도시의 구조, 산업과 환경, 나아가 사회 전반에 지대한 영향을 미치는 핵심 인프라로 자리 잡고 있습니다. 오늘날 우리는 인공지능, 빅데이터, 자율주행, 디지털 트윈, 스마트시티, 기후변화 등 다양한 분야에서 공간정보와 융합된 기술이 새로운 가치를 창출하는 시대를 살아가고 있습니다. 특히 AI의 발전은 공간정보의 수집 분석 예측 기능을 한 차원 더 끌어올리며 정책 결정은 물론 실시간 대응 역량까지 비약적으로 향상시키고 있습니다. 공간정보와 AI의 융합은 미래 산업뿐 아니라 더 나은 사회를 위한 핵심 전략임이 분명합니다. 이러한 변화의 중심에서 우리 학회는 학문적 연구뿐만 아니라 산업, 정책 그리고 지역 사회와의 연결을 통해 실질적인 기여를 이어가고 있습니다. 이번 학술대회 또한 그 성과와 비전을 나누고 미래를 함께 모색하는 소중한 장이 될 것입니다. 아름다운 자연과 생태가 살아 숨쉬는 이곳 제주도에서 국내외 학자와 전문가들이 머리를 맞대고 지식과 경험을 교류하며 지속 가능한 미래와 혁신적 공간정보 생태계를 함께 설계하는 의미 있는 시간이 되기를 진심으로 기대합니다. 끝으로 이번 학회를 위해 오랜 시간 정성을 다해 준비해 주신 준비위원회 관계자분들과 훌륭한 연구 발표를 위해 노력해 주신 모든 발표자 여러분께 깊은 감사의 말씀을 드립니다. 이번 학술대회가 공간정보 분야의 새로운 통찰과 협력의 장이 되기를 바라며 여러분 모두에게 뜻깊고 유익한 시간이 되시길 기원합니다. 감사합니다. 제주대학교 총장 김일환. Okay, now we will hear two congratulatory remarks. First, please welcome Dr. Woo Jun-soon, President of the Special Information Industry Promotion Institute.
Thank you. We have enough remarks for the international language. I have to go go ahead with the Korean. First of all, I would say this. First, congratulations for 25 KAGIS and IAGI's International Symposium. Next, I'd like to go ahead with the Korean language. 존경하는 한국지리정보학회 회원 여러분, 그리고 아시아 각국에서 귀한 걸음을 해주신 석학 및 관계자들, 공간정보 산업진흥원을 대표하여 25년 KAGIS 추계 학술대회 및 IAGI 국제 심포지움의 성대한 개최를 진심으로 축하드립니다. 공간정보 분야의 학문적 발전과 실용화에 헌신해온 한국지리정보학회의 경의를 표하며 이 뜻깊은 자리를 마련해 주신 제주대학교 관계자 여러분께 감사드립니다. 이번 학술대회가 기후위기 시대의 공간정보의 역할이라는 시급하고 거대한 담론을 핵심 주제로 설정한 것은 매우 시기적절하다고 생각합니다. 우리는 지금 지오 AI, 도시 회복 탄력성, 위성 가치, 지속 가능한 도시 계획이라는 네 가지 축이 항공과 산업 그리고 공공 정책을 관통하며 데이터의 활용을 넘어서 사회적 가치가 확장되는 패러다임의 전환점에 서 있습니다. 이번 학술대회가 NGIS 30년의 성과를 바탕으로 삼아서 데이터의 구축, 활용, 예측으로 나아가는 연구 패러다임의 전환점을 제시하고 있습니다. 저희 공간정보진흥원은 이처럼 귀한 학술적 노력과 성과들이 산업의 혁신으로 이어질 수 있도록 산학적 연계와 정부 민간의 연결, 협력을 지원하는 조력자 역할을 꾸준히 수행하겠습니다. 이번 학회의 하이라이트는 국제 심포지움 행사의 기표와 폭을 더해주고 있습니다. 한국, 일본, 대만, 베트남 등 아시아 4개국 석학들이 한자리에서 지식을 공유하는 이 자리는 그 자체로 아시아 공간정보 공동체의 연결과 확장을 보여주고 있습니다. 연세대학교 윤동근 교수님께서는 기후위험 속 도시의 회복 탄력성을 주제로 시공간 데이터 기반의 콘셉트를 제시해 줄 것이며, 일본 전자통신대학교 가야코 야마모토 교수님은 지오 AI를 활용한 도시 압축도 분석을 통해서 AI의 도시 진단 역량을 보여주실 것입니다. 대만 띵크트론의 토마스 시티 칭 박사님은 AI의 틀와 지오 AI를 결합한 스마트 시티 회복 역량 강화, 그리고 베트남 국립우주센터의 김아인 응엔 박사님은 지구 관측 위성 데이터를 활용한 도시 녹지 관리의 패러다임을 제시할 것입니다. 이 모든 발표는 기후위기를 이해하고 도시를 치유하는 기술이라는 하나의 담론으로 수련되어 깊은 한차를 제공할 것입니다. 또한 이어지는 행사를 통해서 항공우주연구원, 국립재난안전연구원, 국토연구원, 해양과학기술원 등 주요 공공연구기관이 참여하는 특별 세션에서는 실용화의 일을 또 구체적으로 모색해 줄 것입니다. 이번 심포지움이 기후위기 시대를 극복하고 지속 가능한 미래를 설계하는 데 중요한 역할을 할 지식과 비전을 공유하는 소중한 화합대장이 되기를 기원합니다. 학회 개최를 다시 한번 축하드리며 모든 참가자 여러분들의 건강과 성공을 기원합니다. 감사합니다.
Thank you, Professor, for your warm congratulations. Next, we will hear from Professor Seok Jong Kim, President of the Korean Association of Special Information. Please welcome Professor Kim.
예, 공간정보 여러분, 정말 여러분 반갑습니다. 한국공간정보산업회장 석종입니다. 먼저 아름다운 제주에서 또 우리 중계 학술대회에 이어서 중계 또 지리정보학회 학술대회와 또 국제심포지움을 진심으로 축하를 드립니다. 아까 또 남항호 회장님 또 우리 손흥민 원장께서 말씀하셨습니다. 또 이 국제적인 심포지움을 어렵게 또 알뜰하게 준비해 주신 우리 남광호 또 우리 회장님 비롯한 이번님께 감사를 드립니다. 저는 오늘 이 자리에 오니까 또 우리 상호상 원장님 참 한 30년 전에 또 우리 GIS가 우리 곁에 와서 굉장히 흥분하고 이런 데 얻는 30년이 지났습니다. 그리고 이제 보니까 또 지금 AI가 또 특히 우리 GOA를 기반으로 생활 곳곳에 또 스며들고 앞으로 우리 공간전문 산업이 더욱더 활성화되고 또 창조하려고 생각합니다. 오늘 귀한 시간 내주셔서 또 연구하신 연구자 여러분, 또 발표자 여러분께 감사를 드립니다. 특히 외국에서 오신 그 베트남, 또 일본, 대만 오신 전문가 여러분께 감사를 드리고 앞으로 좋은 꿈과 또 우리 공간정보가 나날이 발전되게 될 원하겠습니다. 모두 건강하시고 행복하십시오. 고맙습니다.
Thank you, Professor, for the inspiring words and encouragement. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now proceed to the highlight of today's opening ceremony keynote sessions. We are honored to have 4 distinguished keynote speakers today who will share their insights on the cutting-edge research and innovations in geospatial information and smart resilience. Our first keynote speaker is Professor Dong-Gun Yoon from Yonsei University. So we are going to just change a little bit in the podium. We are going to have some time, about less than 5 minutes. Okay? Yeah. Each speaker will have 20 minutes, and then speaker can see the this watch about can have how many minutes left in here, right? So I will show you start. Then you can start, and then you can check how many minutes left. Please be on time. Yeah, you can start.
Good afternoon. It is my pleasure to speak with you today at the conference, the 2025 KAGIS, World Conference on International Symposium of IAGI. So my name is Dong-Gun Yoon, the professor in the Department of Urban Planning and Engineering at Yonsei University, and the director of Urban Environment and Disaster Studies Lab at Yonsei University. My lab focuses on the addressing how climate risk, including disasters affecting our cities and communities, and how our cities we can build a safer and more resilient communities. So I think as of many of you here to recognize urban resilience has become an essential concept, not a theoretical one. So we are now living in Europe, the way climate risks are intensifying faster than our ability to prevent disasters completely. So therefore, I think that the critical question is no longer how do we stop disasters, but rather how can our cities withstand, observe, adapt to, and recover from these disruption and disaster damages. So I think that is a sense of urban resilience. So in this presentation, I would like to introduce how to measure urban resilience or community level resilience in Korea, and it examines how resilience levels have changed over the past 10 years in Korea, and discuss some spatial patterns and the key factors driving these changes across Korean municipalities. So this is the natural disasters in Korea. So according to National Emergency Management Agency of Korea, over the past 15 years, the average economic losses from natural disasters have been It's approximately 582 billion Korean won, and then you can see the bar graph shows increasing, some fluctuations, but increasing from the 2016. So the most damaged year is 2006 by Typhoon Edna, and followed by in 2012 Typhoon Samba, Boraben, and Henry, and 5 years ago in 2020 is heavy rainfall across the entire country that cost 1,156 trillion won in Korea. This is the human losses from natural disasters in Korea. In the same period, there are around total of the 699 human losses caused in Korea, and approximately 41 losses per year. So you can see the highest number of casualties occurred in 2011 by heavy rainfalls, and with a total of 138 losses in that year. So this is the special patterns of disasters in Korea. So that map shows the economic losses from natural disasters in the same period. Right map shows the human losses from natural disasters. So you can see some in the Gangwon province, so in Pyeongchang-gun, Incheon, that areas got more economic damages from natural disasters in Korea. But you can see in the next slide map shows the metropolitan areas relatively lower damages from disasters than rural areas in Korea. In terms of human losses from natural disasters, you can see the similar pattern with the economic losses. So Gangwon province and the Pohang-si in the Gyeongbok areas got more human losses from natural disasters. So, as a climate-related disaster risk intensified, it increased, and then urban vulnerabilities are worsened. So we can't prevent disaster completely, right? So that's why we need to build more resilient communities to reduce the disaster damages. So many scholars try to measure urban resilience to disasters, like Professor Khan. So we also try to measure the urban resilience. So there are many ways to measure resilience. So I'd like to introduce that there are two main approaches to measure urban resilience. One is a mathematical resilience measurement approach. The other one is an index-based resilience measurement. So you can see the left side one shows using the resilience curve. One is usually engineering field they use that curve to measure quantitatively to measure them using some areas, the resilience triangle and the subslope and the mathematical. The other one is the index-based resilience measurement, like me and some Professor Khan used this kind of a methodology to measure the disaster resilience, community resilience. So in terms of the social aspect, the economic aspect, the infrastructure aspect, so using that kind of aspect is we use the urban resilience. So this is a conceptual model to measure urban resilience. So disaster resilience, I think, is a combination of vulnerability and capacity. So these vulnerability and capacity be measured in terms of demographic, social, economic, institutional, and physical aspect. So based on these indicators from each aspect, we can combine that indicator to measure the resilience index. So community with a higher disaster resilience quickly reduce the disaster damage, disaster impact. So based on this conceptual model, try to measure of the disaster community resilience. So for this study, we try to measure the community disaster resilience index in terms of the demographic, social, economic, and institutional physical dimensions. And then we collected the data from the entire country of the 229 single local municipalities. And then we actually collected the 22 variables in 5 dimensions. And then we want to see the changes over time. So from 2010, 2015, and 2020. So those indicators that we normalized and put the sum rate in each indicators and got the index from those indicators. So this one shows the 23 indicators variables to measure the community disaster resilience index. For example, demographic dimensions, there are 5 indicators. For example, the proportion of population over 65 years is related to vulnerability one. So I mentioned that my idea is to measure the resilience one is a combination of vulnerability and the capacity. So some variables are related to vulnerability, some indicators related to capacity one. So in demographic dimensions, so proportion of population with a high school diploma and higher is related to capacity dimensions. So there is a combination of vulnerability and capacity one. So we also collected the 23 indicators in terms of the demographic, social, economic, institutional, and physical one. So we put the weight in each indicators and combined to get the index of the community disaster resilience. So this is the result of the calculation of the community disaster resilience index of the 2010, 2015, and 2020 by 5 years back. So the overall, compared to 2010 and 2020, so some dimensions in resilience is increased, but others increased. This table shows that the max and mean average of the CDRI. So you can see 2010 CDRI resilience index around 0.293, and the 2015 0.299, in 2020 0.289. So that means overall the average resilience index is decreased in Korea. But in some dimensions, social, demographic, social, economic, institutional, physical, some indicators that increased, some indicators increased and decreased. But the overall the resilience scores have decreased in average. So this is the special type of the CDRI of the 2010, 15, and 20. So we can see average per CDRI in 2020 decreased by 1.4% compared to 2010. But you can see this map shows the 2010 CDRI, 15 CDRI in the center, 2020 the right side, some metropolitan areas, Seoul, Gyeonggi province is got higher resilience score, but the overall trend is decreasing in Korea. But you can see some in 2000 is from 2000 to 2015 is increase. From 2015 to 2020 is decreased. So the overall trend is increased by 5 years gap and decreased. But in overall from 2010 to 2000 is decreased. But in special time, Seoul, Incheon, and Busan, those dark blue areas got higher resilience score. in terms of demographic, so the component of the community resilience on is a demographic, social, economic, institutional, fiscal. So I calculate in terms of each dimensions. So it plays a demographic resilience of the total CDRI shows the decrease by compared to 2010, but you can see especially the kind of some changes, some differences. So some Seoul and Gyeonggi province and some Busan areas got more the resilience score than other areas. This one is a social dimension, like demographic dimensions. They compared to 2010, in 2020, the score is increased, and then in 2020 it's a decreased one. And then some, especially Seoul and Gyeonggi areas, got higher scores. This is for economic dimensions. The economic dimensions, the score of resilience is decreased in 2020 compared to 2010. But the similar pattern, especially some areas, is a higher in Seoul metropolitan and near the Seoul areas. This is the institutional dimension, also decreased by 13.84% compared to 2010. But this one is steadily decreased. In 2010 is 0.039, 2015 0.039, 2020 is 0.033. So steadily decreased of the institutional resilience. But physical one is increasing, the resilience is increasing compared to 2010. So 2010 is the average of 0.066, 2020 average score is 0.074, it's around 11% increase compared to 2010 and 2020, the resilience score. Especially you can see in 2000, this is a 2021, but so way more bigger than the Seoul metropolitan areas got more scores of physical resilience score. This one is just a simple correlation between the CDRI in urban areas and rural areas. I compared the urban areas are more changed than rural areas, more changed of the resilience score. So we can see most negative score means the rural areas got more improved resilience score compared to urban areas. And especially the social dimension of the CDRI increased more significantly in rural communities. And the economic dimension of the CDRI showed more improvement in urban communities. This one is also a simple relationship between CDRI and damages. The concept of the resilience one is a community with a higher resilience are more likely, less likely to get the disaster damages. So there is a significantly negative relationship between the human losses and the CDRI. So CDRI is higher, that means disaster damages the decreased one. So you can see there's negative relations between the human losses and the CDRI. So I got the four models by the time difference, time period of difference one. So the found the conforms to the idea is with a higher resilience one, that's a less disaster damages one. So that's why we need to build and improve the community resilience to reduce the disaster damages. So to summarize my findings, then between 2010 and 2020, the average CDRI is unfortunately it's decreased over 10 years by 1.4%, but in some dimension our resilience is increased and some dimension is decreased, especially the physical one is increased over time in Korea, and especially the urban, the wet and urban areas, the rural areas improved their resilience score over the time, and the metropolitan area and Busan Eastern areas increased their urban resilience. So, that's my presentation. Thank you for your
Okay, thanks for a wonderful talk. We have 1 minute actually, so if you have real questions, you can ask. Any questions? Yep, can you can speak.
Okay, I did not see how you calculate the CPR.
So actually, I collected this is an index one. So in order to calculate CDRI, the resilience index, I have indicators. So I normalize these indicators and combine that indicator to get the.
Yeah, I know, but then you should give weights to each indicator in order to quantify the CDRI, right?
Yes. So I put it weight
Yes.
using the entropy weight.
Oh, but then
You
it
mean
would be nice to
distribution?
be informed of the weights, so we know that if the weights are given appropriately.
But in this slide, include the actual number of PR weight for each indicator. So, am I answering your question?
Okay, we can discuss later about that. Okay? Okay, please give a big hand to Professor Lim. So we will hear from the next keynote speaker. Probably can go over that way. Your laptop, sorry. Okay. Hold on, please. Okay, please welcome Professor Kayako Yamamoto from University of Electoral Communications, Japan. Her keynote address is entitled "GeoAI for Sustainable Urban Planning: Evaluation Urban Compactness with SBN." Please welcome Professor Yamamoto.
Good afternoon. 안녕하세요, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Kayako Yamamoto. I'm presenting for the GIS Association of Japan. I'm the professor for the University of Electoral Communications in Japan. I'm delighted to be here. The presentation today is GeoAI for sustainable urban planning, evaluating urban compactness with SBN. The content of my presentation is outlined in this slide. First of all, I will introduce the overview of compact city. The compact city concept was conceived by mathematicians George Danzig and Thomas IAG'i in 1973. The term compact city was originally a utopian vision aimed at optimizing resource use and reducing urban sprawl. The concept gained traction through James Jacobs' implemental book entitled The Death and Life of Grand American Cities in 1961, which criticized modernist urban planning and advocated for dense mixed-use neighborhoods. The compact city model is now seen as a sustainable urban strategy, balancing environmental, social, and economic dimensions. It continues to evaluate in response to climate change, aging societies, and urban resilience needs. Okay. In Europe, inspired by environmental concerns and writings in the Club of Roma report limited to growth in 1972, European cities began promoting compact urban forms to reduce ecological footprint. Policies emphasize public transport, walkability, and preservation of historical urban cores, especially cities with medial layouts. In the United States, the rise of inner city problems and rapid crime and urban expansion lead to suburban growth. In response, urban planners adopted growth management strategy to combat sprawl and revitalize downtowns. The compact city model was seen as a way to regain fragmented urban populations and reduce car dependency. Secondly, I will introduce the key features of the Japanese compact city model. After World War II, Japan experienced rapid urban growth during the economic boom, leading to widespread sprawl and suburbanization. Policies favored suburban housing development. City centers suffered from dominant phenomena, population decline, and economic stagnation. During the 1990s to 2000s, following the birth of the public economy, suburbanization migration intensified. City centers become product, especially in regional cores. The rise of large suburban retail complex and concentrated infrastructure first and weakened traditional downtowns. Legal recognition of compact urban development began in 2014. Japan enacted the Compact City Law, the amended Urban Renaissance Special Instrument Act, originally promoting compact urban development as a national process. Goals include dividing central district, enhancing public and bicycle transport, disrupting infrastructure costs, and supporting aging populations and reducing car dependency. There are 6 key features of the Japanese compact city policy. A response to demographic challenges, legal framework, location optimization plan, transportation and mobility focus, revitalization of city centers, environmental sustainability, and integrated land use and transport planning. One of the key concepts in Japan's compact city policy is the compact plus network approach. This strategy aims to build a sustainable urban structure in response to population decline and aging demographics. Based on the amendment, Urban Renaissance Special Measurement Act and the Local Public Transportation Revitalization Act. Regarding the concept, we aim to concentrate key urban functions, healthcare, welfare, and commerce alongside residential areas within center district. This helps create systems that are not only more efficient, but also more convenient and reliable for everyone. Regarding network, the concept compact hubs does not stand alone, but linking these hubs through robust public transportation and as a utility system, we build a well-connected urban structure that support daily life across the entire region. Our city, located in northern Japan, as well known, was faced swift winters, aging population, and declining urban density. In response, the city has adopted a compact city strategy to create a more sustainable and livable urban environment in 1990. Our city stands out as a leading example with a strong focus on two key features of Japan's compact city model: response to demographic challenges and revitalization of city concept. Our city remains a variable case research in Japan's effort to balance urban efficiency with demographic realities. Thirdly, I will introduce SVM, a best evaluation of urban compactness in Japanese local cities. This is a result of a joint research project with a Columbia exchange student. SVM is a type of AI, specifically a supervised machine learning algorithm. It finds a compact hyperplane to separate data into classes with a maximum margin. I focus on the characteristic of our city as a compact city. This is one related to socioeconomic factors, focusing on activity consolidations. This is linked to the daily facilities to provide social health, meals, and therapeutic services. And this should be well distributed in the urban area in order to reduce traveling time. Also, the public transportation intensification, such as bus stop, is required to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and thus avoid traffic congestions. Our research question is how to find a particular place, maximizing research utilities. We are aiming to figure out how different landscapes can be classified based on socioeconomic factors using a supervised non-parametric spectral method. As a part of that, I will introduce how SVM, supported vector machine, is used for the classifications. According to the Urban Promotion Act in Japan, urbanization promotion area are defined as areas that have already formed urban area that should be urbanized in a planned and prioritized manners within approximately 10 years. Tables 1 and 2 respectively show the socioeconomic factors that the percentage of each rentals in the urbanization promotion area or urban metropolitan area. Each 100 by 100 meter per column was enhanced with its latitude and longitude. The harbor side distance to nearby facilities are ranges prices estimated by district and interpolated to the mesh level. All variables were then converted into numerical format to match equal to requirement of SVM. Figure 4 shows the SVM procedure for the urbanization promotion area of our metropolitan area. We use SVM with a regular gaseous canal to classify random curves and run a grid search to find change cost and grammar parameters of best performance. To figure out which predictors matter most, we did an area under the curve AUC analysis. We also calculated the harbor side of distance from each mesh to near socio-economic factors using GIS. We applied SVM with the radial basis function canal to classify random curves in the urbanization promotion area. We calculated harbor side distance from each 100 by 100 megabytes per long to nearby socio-economic factors using GIS. The training data set covered 70% of the data, and the remaining 30% was used for testing. A grid search was conducted to optimize the cost and gamma parameters, resulting in over 5,000 simulations. The best model achieved a kappa coefficient of 0.82, a random index of 0.86, and a diagonal accuracy of 90%. Buildings are residential areas. Also, the high-risk precipitation accuracy exceeding 93%. Most socio-economic factors was concentrated within a 5-kilometer radius of the urbanization promotion area center. Figure 5 shows both the original and predicted UVA data for the whole metropolitan area. A detailed area across the river is also highlighted with a red circle. The large areas occurred in West Raleigh area, 21%, and in area across the rivers and lakes, 26%. However, the area closer to beach area was 0%, forest was 6%, building residential areas was 7%. We found SVM worked really well for classifying radius in our city's compact city model. Using radial basis canal gave us strong performance across multiple radius curves. AUC analysis helped us figure out which socio-economic factor were most important for each radius curves. We also discovered by comparing AUC values, we could simplify the number of radius curves, which makes the most easier to interpret. Overall, combined GIS with machine learning also allow us to integrate spatial data and socio-economic factors in a way that supports smart urban planning. To wrap up, our research also using SVM with spatial data and socio-economic factors is a powerful way to classify radius in compact cities like our city by combining GIS-based distance measures with machine learning. we achieved high classification accuracy, especially for buildings, residential area, which raised over 93%. The model also performed well overall, with a strong carbon coefficient and a rand index above 0.8. Using the AAC analysis helped us identify which socioeconomic factors were most important for each random types, and even allowed us to simplify the number of random types. I will introduce two papers related to my presentation. If you get interested in our research, please refer to these papers. Finally, I will talk about our challenges for GeoAI. Based on our GeoAI research, I propose autonomous smart GIS by integrating AI. GIS is developing further. Large language models, LLMs, such as ChatGPT, demonstrate a strong understanding of human natural languages and how they explored and applied in various fields, such as reasoning, creative writing, photo generation, translation, and information retrieval. By adapting LLMs as a regional core, I propose an autonomous smart GIS, namely next generation AI powered smart GIS. It delivers the LLM's general ability in natural language understanding, reasoning, and coding for addressing special problems with automatic special data collection, analysis, and visualization. Taking up an example of special data analysis, machine learning, including our research, can be adapted in special data analysis, classification, clustering, and prediction. Thus, we can focus on coming up with new research topics and methods, which may allow us to further our research. Personally, such smart GIS will contribute to the achievement of SDGs. We have to promote responsible AI through transparency and accountability. When AI decision-making process became a black box, it can be difficult. Sometimes impossible for humans to understand how certain outcomes were reached. This is especially critical in work with a significant social impact, where technology that enables explainable artificial intelligence, XAI, are essential to engine transparency and accountability. That concludes my presentation. Thank you very much for attention. 감사합니다.
Okay, thank you. It's right on time. Okay. We are going to move to the next keynote speaker, Dr. Thomas C.T. Chen, CEO of Thinktone Ltd. in Taiwan. He will deliver a keynote titled AIoT and GeoAI Technology for Smart City and Resilience Capacity Building in Taiwan. Please welcome Dr. Chen.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, it's my honor to be here. I never imagined I can be the keynote speaker here on behalf of Taiwan. Today, actually, you see the title. We would like to bring some a real case. We already adopt this AIoT and the GeoAI in Taipei, New Taipei City for disaster prevention. In terms of, so why I use this title is for smart city and the resilient capacity building in Taiwan, because related to disaster prevention. I'm Thomas Jintong Chen. I work in Singapore. Before I joined this company, I'm a civil engineer in Sinotech. So I would like to briefly introduce myself. I also the associate professor in Earth Science Department in National Central University, Taiwan. And Singtron is a joint venture company invested by Kosai Tokyo, Japan. Last month I just made those say, yeah, in our company in Japan. And right now I'm here with those things again. Yeah, very happy to hear. The other company is the Taiwan company, Sinotech. Our vision, we established the company in 2018, and we would like to do the smart and green. This means we use the innovation technology, such as AI, IoT, whatever, and we'd like to make our society more sustainable. We followed in the SDGs goal to do something good for the society. I think you know very well Taiwan, we had a lot of disaster. Based on the 2008 World Bank report, it mentioned in Taiwan, we have 33% land area are exposed to more than 3 types of more natural disasters in Taiwan. So based on static, every year we have 3 types in Taiwan, and earthquake, maybe around 30 years, or very big one earthquake happened in Taiwan Island and killed a lot of people. So let's remind you what happened, was the catastrophic, very big event in Taiwan. Like this event, a big landslide caused in 2009, Southern village buried by a huge landslide. This village, as you see, a very beautiful beach, but finally buried by a landslide, totally destroyed, and killed more than 500 people died over there. In 1999 earthquake, I think you visit this place. This is the Sigan Dam. Totally uplift is more than 10 meters. Very huge rupture in the surface. So it caused a lot of people died. And this flooding 2001 in Taipei City, even the MRT in Taipei also inundated and shut down more than 1 month. And I think it's the very huge damage to the flooding. So we talking about so many disasters. Why is it related to the new technology? What we can do use the new technology? The idea is that based on the UN report say, if we can adopt a new technology, even the climate change, we can basically change and also create opportunity. So which means we invest $1, we can reduce it 4 and 7 disaster loss. So it increases business and also can reduce the loss. So it's the what we want to utilize the new technology. And this figure very interesting. As you see, this is a petroleum industry always we take out the oil, but right now the brand on the petroleum platform, as you see, say Amazon, Tesla, and Google, and a very rich guy, In 2000, earlier 2000, those of petroleum company very rich, but right now the data company use the data. So what's most valuable resource is no longer oil, but data. So it's means the data economic is coming. So today is the most important slide here. We would like to emphasize GIC is no longer dynamic, static information, because IoT, we have a lot of sensors deployed everywhere, different kind of sensor to monitoring the earthquake, air pollution, water level, flooding, everything we can monitor that, and in real time can display in the GIS. So based on those huge information, as you see in your right-hand side, we can do the Earth observation from the space. We have satellite and a drone and IoT sensor. Everything is a huge, very huge amount of data. How to handle that? We need to utilize the AI technology and based on the new technology to analyze this and also feedback those information to the GIS platform. I need to emphasize that most of the data, big data, I think that based on the report, I don't remember what's the report come from. 70% relate to the geospatial. So geo AI, just like the Yama's model sensei, geo AI is already happening in a very challenging. I think a lot of people do this, can recognize the what it is, this car, this any people go over there, you can identify that. So you can do that, but most of that, you need to do the location service. So AI integrate with the traditional surveyor mapping technology. We identify location, and then you visualize uses the GIS platform or 3D GIS. In terms of the, right now we say the digital twin, we want to connect to the physical world and the virtual world together. So how to do that? So from surveyor mapping technology point of view, the photogrammetry, we can use the stereo image and identify the distance and measure the distance is the traditional way we can do that. But right now, a lot of robot technology, like the Tesla, they construct the car, it's becoming a smart car. It seems like the robot have a wheel, four wheel, and can identify the object and be self. So how is the 3D GIS can do? A lot of people wondering why we spend a lot of money to do the 3D GIS. The first thing is for the autonomous vehicle car business, and the second one is for disaster prevention and resilience. The reason is because we want to do flooding simulation, autonomy simulation. I think you can imagine we need to have very high accuracy, high resolution 3D model to simulate. And the last one is a very, very big challenge right now in Taiwan, I think in Japan as well, because the climate change, a lot of landslide or flooding happen and make a lot of infrastructure damage. But we need to prepare for that and in advance. So how to do that? So we need to do some simulation based on the more model of fragility. Like that, we can use the surveyor maybe new technology to identify which structure have damage. We can see the crack or some very small phenomena is the abnormal. In Taiwan, right now we promote some idea of the stable IoT. It's very achievement. And right now, we would like to open the data for the general public. The reason is that disaster prevention is not government's business. It's the enterprise need to do something. For example, right now we say it's the ESG, environment, social and governments. Every enterprise, a big enterprise, need to do ESG. So they also need to use this information for disaster prevention for governments to protect their property and want to reduce the loss. So it invited a lot of private company. So it's been a public-private partnership, just like this red part, the PPP. So we use the OGG standard to open that. Even in Korea, you also can see this information. You can visit this website and use that and display in your GIS platform. It's very easy. You can know a situation, what I mentioned, related to the disaster prevention. So it include air quality, earthquake, and flooding water, and disaster-related information. So some crazy guy, they would like to do that, use a crowdsourcing idea. We deploy more than 2,000, very cheap one, the monitoring IoT sensor to monitor the air pollution. So the public monitoring the PM 2.5, we realize that and also help backend to see that. I take an example to you. Central Rail Bureau in Taiwan, right now we already established the station in the left-hand side, but academic Professor Wu in Taiwan, he used a very cheap and very low-cost instrument to monitor the earthquake, deploy more than 1,000 stations. So you can imagine, maybe you wondering, the accuracy is more important or the density is more important? I think density is more important. The answer is the fact, this one. If you have a high density, you can know the, for example, like the side detection. In soft and hard rock, the ground motion is different. And you can if the density is not so high, you cannot compare the difference. So it means the sensor is cheaper, and with the new technology, you can deploy everything in the platform you want. So we also have an idea, we want to use a drone to apply in the industry park to monitor the environment, and also put the sensor to monitor the earthquake, flooding, and air pollution. So we have the POC in Taiwan. We established that the right-hand side is the main, when the rainfall, accumulated rainfall increasing, the inundation of flooding area become more wide, or the height of the flooding increase. So it's the left industry park emergency office can do something. So it's the demonstration. We put our sensor in the industry park. Just a good thing, look like if you see some the water pressure or air pollution is something wrong, is a warning to the authority. So you see this the pool. If some guys cross over the area, we identify the image. In the image, we will push the information to the authority. The GII for payment disaster, the district inspection is a very simple one. Example, we use the camera and can see the crack, the hole. It's very easy to identify the object, where is it, and then we have GPS. The camera can put in the right-hand side of is the GIS map. So it's very easy to collect, to do the data acquisition, to know the data, the load quality, and go back office. We can review that and to check the historical data, and based on that to do the annual budget, the idea like that. So if we do more detail, we can do like the right-hand side. It's not detected by drone, it's detected by the photo in front of you, and then we low tap to the angle from top to see the ground. So it's very detailed. Even the DSM, as you see, is through DSM, very, very precise. If you make a cross section, even you can see the root. Root is if your trunk always there will go in the same place. You will see very, very easy to identify the load sustained, and this will cause the damage, or you need to retrofit that. Also, you can construct the 3D model like that. We just use the stereo image and in front of you, and construct the image like that. So you can identify the traffic sign everything, included the payment quality like that. So it's the Geo AI idea. We do the POC. So today I present and introduce that we would like to introduce to you. This will realize, and we can use this information for city governments and also for disaster prevention and do survey. So Geo AI and IoT for disaster prevention emergency data platform. We conduct this project more than 7 years in Taipei City. It's the hard management and the data very hard and hard to make decision. But also the commander asks a lot of questions and need to collect a lot of data. So we spend a lot of time include the CCTV, more than 14,000 CCTV include that, and a lot of sensor and a lot of department information collect together in the GIS platform. When typhoon coming, for example, a lot of people call 119 in Taiwan, very emergency. So every core health latent location we display on the GIS, and also the commander can see the IoT situation in the screen. We have dashboard to show what's happened, and the pumping machine is running well. How come is the flooding so severe? So the water level, rainfall intensity, the information, everything you can see in the GIS platform. So you can see that in any device, anytime, and anywhere. So even the commander not in the emergency operation center is outside the office, you can see in the iPad, can see the information just through the GIS platform, can know what happen and make decision. So from the part is the IoT part, and then we do analysis. We use the AI or any simulation. We do the prediction, and then display in the bottom part. We can let the commander see the what's next 1 hour, 2 hours, or tomorrow what will happen when typhoon coming. So we have pandemic disaster in whole Asia, whole world. So during that time, every day our system is used in the TV because the city mayor showed us the system to display where the confirmed case in the location. So it's not just only for disaster, because in Taiwan we maybe use the system just one year, used maybe less than 10 times. But when this emergency like the pandemic happen, we can use that. If you combine the flooding and the traffic, as you see, we have a forecast the flooding area, and we also use the CCTV to see the real this work is the inundation is flooding or not, and also can identify car or people going to go inside this block. So we need to block low, and we stop, and then to accident don't go inside this area. So regarding large language model is very popular right now, but the key part is how to integrate the simulation, like a typhoon or earthquake simulation sensor information to put them inside the existing document. So right now we try to do is we already collect a lot of disaster response text, a lot of report, or the commander used this suggestion report is the text, but how to make decision based on the SOP and relate to the IoT sensor is very challenging. It's what we want to do now. So we have a platform like that, and we can generate this kind of suggestion based on historical data, because we have the typhoon past and typhoon magnitude, we integrate together and give the commander some suggestion like that. So the disaster description in the photo, not just only identify the car in the photo or the flooding in the photo, and you describe a car is going to the flooding area and the inundation high, how high is it? Right now, we do LLM can do that. So it's in the future, we would like to use this kind of idea applied to in this system. So I think no time to introduce more about the Taiwan the disaster right now. The dam caused by earthquake, natural dam caused by earthquake. Earthquake have landslide, very huge landslide. The height is 200 meter, and suddenly in the September 23, the collapse and then bury the village. Before that, we already used this kind of system. What I mentioned, EDP, EDC, we already identify the inundation area and also the people who live, and the red dot is the people live over there, and the red line is the inundation region. And we also collect a lot of sensor, CCTV information, and make this decision. The top part, the right-hand side is after this disaster, a lot of houses buried by the mud. So the bottom part you see is the more than 3 meter high, and the bridge destroyed. Seems like the tsunami passed through this village, so caused a lot of damage and lost the people life. We made a cross section. So go back to this issue is in this area we need to use the satellite or DSM, DEM LiDAR more frequently because it's not stable right now, not yet. So we need to use the GIS and identify the everything. Need to pay more attention for those villages. In Taiwan, we use LINE to deliver the information to the general public. Typhoon coming and the water level, which area have flooding, and CCTV information you can see in the line because a lot of people use line. So we also use this kind of hazard map and vacancy map and communicate with the local people in the vulnerable communities. Can you see I'm in the photo, the top one. So directly communicate with the general public and the community people, let them know where the environment have some landslide risk flow or some dangerous area, let them know. So I think time is already finished. So the key part is the GIS is no more static. We need to rely on the real IoT information to link together and make decision. And AI will help us to analyze data and huge data as soon as possible because for disaster prevention, the commander, a lot of questions need to make decision as soon as possible. So we rely on the AI to help us. I think the key part. So I think the no more time to spend more. If you want to do risk, health map, and integrate the 3D GIS, and we can do like that. We zoom into some city, we have 3D model, and we can know the real size, the space of the street. So the firemen go into the city, what they can do, how to build out a team to do the rescue. So it's very important. Right now, we try to do that integrated 3D GIS technology and the digital twin, and it's a game engine. We can put the people, put the car in the 3D environment, and to do a drill and to do the training, education for the firemen. Okay. Okay, it's wrong. I think no time, long of time. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. It's already time's up. So we are going to move to the next keynote speaker, last one. The fourth keynote speaker is Dr. Kim Nguyen from Vietnam National Space Center. Oh, your file is in here. Then you can go over there, I guess. Let me see. Just to double check that your file is in here. This one? Yeah, I guess this is yours. Is it? Given the zeros. No, I think this is euros. Okay. She will speak on the multi-source data-driven smart fraud early warning system. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Nguyen to the stage.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests. It's my great honor to be a keynote speaker in this KAGIS IAG'i conference. And in this event, as you can see in the program, initially we put another title as the flood warning system, but then I revise a bit to follow the trend of today we were talking about city relation and the risk. So I would like to share with you some idea about urban risk in the era of climate change, preparing for the future city to the Earth observation. So currently I work for Vietnam National Space Center and I also have a guest lecture at the Vietnam National Economic University and also a guest lecture at the Vietnam National University, the Hanoi University of Science. And we have some publication related to nature hazards, including the salinity intrusion, and we got the high risk citation and the download for the paper. Yes. So this best major outcome of our application, you can see in the middle is a global map. So we devise a framework to assess the global eco-environmental vulnerability before and after the COVID-19. And we see master evolution of the eco-environmental vulnerability. And the other case study we also did for the Taiwan, Mekong data, Hanoi, and also other regions. And we published some paper about this related to the urban risk rate, distress index, and also the vulnerability due to the typhoon and also nature hazards. So, what is the history of the urbanization? So we can see that in the 21st century, it being shaped by the two profound transformative, globally interlinked with change and urbanization escalating climate crisis. So we have like more than 50% of the global population reside in the urban area. And this figure show the project rise by the 68% by 2050. And the city are the hub and innovation economic growth. And it is largest consumer of the resources, emitter of the greenhouse gas, accounting for approximately 70% of global carbon dioxide. So we can see that many countries nowadays they focus for the ESG, like Dr. Thomas Chen said about environment, social and governance cooperating together to make the green industry to reduce the climate change impact. So urban risk rate in mitigating the urban heat island effect the tree canopy and offer form for vegetation and provide the shade of preventing direct solar radiation from the surface such as the pavement and the building. And the urban greenway has chances for their poor access road to become an essential element of the green infrastructure, especially the recent time. You can see that many cities, they already made the effort to enhance the greenway in the infrastructure and in the city. And the cooling effect from the urban greenway, it has been quantified the number of studies recently. So it can, from the tree cover, it can reduce based on the distance of the buffer from tree. We can see from the study demonstrates that it can be reduced 2 to 4 degrees cooler surrounding the built-up area. So you can see some recent study as shown in the figure for the cooling effect of the urban greenway. And for the urban greenway, provide like a predict carbon sequestration for the air quality improvement. And it acts as a nature-based solution only so far that we can enhance the ecosystem service from the urban greenway for mitigating the climate and also micro the urban heat island in the city. So the surface of the leaf can trap air quality master the PM pollution and absorb the greenhouse gas such as oxide and urban background tree cover. And so the reduce the local air pollution concentration by 30%. For the third one, you can see that some kind of the structure for urban greenway and their role for the green roofs and the pavement and the rain garden and inflation the shade. So the urban greenway and the core component of the green infrastructure and the blue green infrastructure and provide the nature-based solution for the different phenomenon of the city, like reduce the flooding or the air pollution reduce and also the noise and the dust help to mitigate the flood risk while the enhance the ecosystem service. It can bring more diversity to come to the city. So you can see the urban biodiversity that we can see that many urban parks or even the golf course in the urban area, it can attract more the tourists, also the diversity like the bird and other useful an animal or insects. So the strategy for urban greenway investment, like we invest $1 and we benefit for $5, and the other also help the human being issue. So the diversity of the urban greenway profile. So the urban greenway under climate pressure. Also, the urban greenway is a powerful tool for the building climate reduction, but they also assist within critical the carbon and they are themselves highly vulnerable to the climate change, like the typhoon come and many trees falling, and also they are damaged. And we take time many years to grow many nice trees, but it can be all damaged or falling due to the typhoon or the similar disaster like earthquake, something like this. So how to protect and maximize the ecosystem service from the urban greenway. So we can see here the impact of the climate change as a drought or heat wave, and it can also cause the damage to urban greenway. The plant physical threat and also degradation from the mass of growing the tree, and also loss the ecosystem service function from the urban greenway due to too much water or too little water. So the risk from the extreme weather event, the storm, strong wind, and heavy rain, and the flooding, and also some other like an earthquake, a volcano, or the other damage the urban greenway. And we have built the framework to assess the vulnerability of urban greenway for the city, and we took a space study in Taiwan. So based on this framework, we mainly assess the vulnerability of urban wind space based on the three domains and exposure, sensitivity, and the adaptive capacity. So you can see the indicator that we consider for our assessment, including the hydrometeorological condition, socio-economic, land resources, nature hazard, and the topographic condition. And total with 16 indicators are considered in this framework. So the overcome of limitation for traditional data. We already know what's the limitation of the traditional data, the time, the resolution, attribution, and some other factor also direct. So what's the remote sensing can contribute to overcome the limitation to support the study. So for the monitoring, provide the high resolution satellite image, also not only the spatial resolution, also the time series for long-term monitoring. And now they provide more the platform for combine with different methodologies for the processing satellite image such as the Google Earth engine that we can combine the different time frame and also cloud removal to assess and classify the urban monitoring of the wind space. For the like the Landsat app, we have the thermal band and also can be used to assess the effect of urban wind space for the cooling of the city and also the heat trap rate of the city area. So this shows the land cover time in Taiwan that we derive from the Sentinel-2 data and also Landsat data to be used for the input of the urban wind space assessment framework. And the Earth observation data for the urban wind space vulnerability assessment for the optical image and also the side image. So you can see in this figure, we saw in my publication in 2021 about how to assess the heat trap index in the big city in Vietnam, like in Hanoi. During the Hanoi master plan, many old trees were removed and the new trees are going, and many project, transportation, and also apartment built. So during this time frame, we have faced a lot of the environmental and also the problem of the heat trap. You can see in this figure within the 2 years and the urban wind space, how it changed in the Hanoi city during the Hanoi master plan. So this is for the Sentinel image in the 2016 and 2018, and it's so much reduction of the urban wind space in the Hanoi city within the 2 years. And this shows some very important components of the urban park in the Hanoi city. The location, and also we perform the cooling effect of the urban wind space component, some major park in Hanoi, and how it affected the other surrounding area. This shows you the heat trap map, then classified into the 5 levels, and you can see this figure was taken in 2021 during the Hanoi master plan, the new transportation and also the apartment were built and the trees are removed in the area. This study shows you the framework of the assess the vulnerability of the urban wind space in the Taiwan. So we have the component for the hazards, including the typhoon characteristics like typhoon pressure, typhoon frequency, and precipitation and wind speed, and also the possibility to typhoon track and the slope, also the condition of the topography, elevation, and the typhoon angle. And for the exposure and sensitivity of urban wind space, we can retrieve the urban wind space canopy from the section email from Sentinel-2 and also the location and the unit and the distance to the road and also NDVI, NDVI, and NDRI. And for the adaptive capacity based on the whole Taiwan, we collect different information, including the safe land and safe area, and also the ability of the response of the local area, like authority, what's the measurement of equipment they already have, and the unit and population density, income, the agriculture, and the soil type. And we combine it, all of the three components, and we build the GIS database, and we apply the IPCC framework to derive the different components for the vulnerability map for the risk rate in Taiwan. So let's show you the result of the urban risk rate vulnerability in Taiwan. So Taiwan population mainly located in this side. So we conduct the three major cities, including the Taipei metropolitan area, including the Keelung, Taoyuan, and Taichung, and also the Kaohsiung, and in the south Taiwan. So the barrier to integrate the Earth observation into the urban planning, we face with some difficulty, including the storage, the skill, human resources, the urban planner and the policymaker, and require really to use. They need to able to understand and read the system and the scientific data, such as the risk map, development scenario, and the analytical report, and convert the raw of the Earth observation data into the actionable insight, demand, and the technical equity. And also the cost and infrastructure barrier. In practical, the many applications require is a not a free accessible satellite image. It is very high resolution image, and it requires some budget to buy into get the very detailed information, and also institutional and organization barrier. It limited funding within the different organization, and also the storage of the ability changing the step and make it difficult for the decision maker to fully appreciate the value of the potential that the Earth observation data and the outcome that scientific can provide. So when we use the Earth observation data, we face big difficulty to make the decision maker and authority to use the outcome. So what's the suggestion for the policy? This is some recommendation. Firstly, is the investment on the human capital to training, provide training, and to address the urban planning challenges. This empower the planner to use technology effectively and ask the right question, integrate spatial result meaningful. And secondly, we promoting community engagement. We see the comprehensive urban planning can provide the effective when the local community they fully involved, like they provide training and also get them together to update the technique and also enhance the data sharing and collaboration. This is very important. How to enhance the data sharing and collaboration, building the platform to integrate the outcome of scientific and also the interactive with the authority and also the citizen together to make the action and make the action to be real action in the plan, not only that in the paper. That is very important, and how to make it effectively. We really need a platform for the different components and the society to interact, and the continuous monitoring in the real-time system. We can establish the regular monitoring framework for the key urban health indicators, such as the urban green cover, land surface temperature, air quality, impervious surface, and also the expansion. So provide the offset evidence to track the progress, assess the impact of intervention, and identify priority area for the action. like which error we need to take which action first. So the priority classification, the error important for the priority action. So this is some of the reference including our publication in the recent year. And thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.
Okay, it's right on time, but if you have any questions, you can ask a question. Just one short question. No? Okay, thank you. Yeah. This is the end of the keynote session, and then before the concluding the opening ceremony, we are going to have a group photo time. Okay, so everybody just come in front, and then I think we are going to just talk about this screen a little bit, and then this is just and we are going to just bring us the chairs, yeah, chairs, and then 1, 2, 3 different levels. Okay.
Okay, let's make a picture.
모두 다 나오시죠. 요거는 지금 순서 다 같이. 네. 오케이. 우리 책상을 여기까지 드립니다. 가운데 거만. 책상을 여기 사이로 넣어줘. 그러면 좀 더 좁을까? 더 위로 뒤에 하면 낫지 않나? 이렇게 그럴까요? 여기는 좁히고 이 정도까지만 안 보여. 안 되시고. 아니 안 돼요. 안 돼요. 그때는 안 돼요. 여기서 보라고 여기로 오세요. 여기로. 이거 안 돼. 하나 더 해요. 하나 더. 괜찮아요? 기자님 기술로 써. 요거 쉬고 요거. 옆으로.
자, 그것도 맞아 들을 거예요.
AI는 안 돼.
끝.
예.
이해 안 보여요. 자, 저기 학생들 수술 사실 스크린이 따라 1열, 2열 그대로 쓰시면 되고. 자, 제가 학생 1열 스크린 카메라 보내 카메라 보내. 그래서 1열 스크린, 2열 스크린 안 됐죠? 아니, 됐어. 자, 시작은 수그리.
몇 번 찍을 겁니다. 네.
수그리한테 알려주세요.
뭐 지시를 주세요.
영어로 이야기해 주세요. 영어로.
됐습니다.
수그리.
2, 3. 하시고 제가 한번 더 찍을게요.
저
이번에
학생으로.
영상으로 들어갈 거거든요. 영상?
영상.
예.
네, 영상으로.
어디 할까요? 오늘 어떻게 할까?
뒤에서.
그렇게 찍는 게 빠르.
저기구나.
우선은
뭐 할까요?
스마일, 치즈,
김치.
아 이거 앞면에 근육 다 묻어.
영상을 찍을게요.
영상.
그럼 영상 찍을 때 뭐 해야 돼?
영상 찍을 때 하나에 웃어주시면 소리 좀
앞으로. 앞으로 여기 자기 생각에는 시작해보세요. 그리고
그러니까
와.
안녕하세요. 하이.
아.
싱가몬. This is 앞으로.
오케이.
한번 더. 왜? 오케이, 우리 선수. 왜 떴다?
뒤에 계신 분들 잘 안 나와서
올라가서 한번 찍고.
수그리. 수그리. 너무 엄청 무거운 거. 자 여기 잡아드리고. 자 의자 잡아드리고. 이렇게 꽉 잡고.
오케이. 책상이 올라오고. 아, 책상이 올라오고. 오케이.
수그리.
이번에 하트 한번 할게요.
하트.
21?
네, 21도 되고 이렇게 해도 되고 각자 포즈를 취하시고 네. 보시고 렌즈 보시고 하나 둘 네, 됐습니다.
네.
Okay, this is the end of the opening ceremony and the keynote session. Please enjoy the remaining session and the beautiful days in Jeju Island. Thank you.
손원장님. 몇 장만 받쳐주니까 힘이 세서 7개.
그거 뭐 설문하실래요?
손원장님, 우리 박사님.
여기야 교수님들이 많이 해주시는
여기 수학과 근데 어렵더라. 신성작을 우리가
네.